The Pittsburgh Steelers, as I'm pulling into the coffee shop, make three very surprising moves ahead of the Cleveland Browns game in week 2. I apologize for the glare in my glasses. I'm literally sitting on the side of the road right now as I did not see any of this coming. They placed Diontae Johnson on IR, Anthony McFarland on IR, and then they promote running back Quadri Olison to the active/inactive roster. Let's go through them. Diontae Johnson, after a couple of days, you just kind of felt like maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers weren't going to place him on IR and they weren't going to shut him down. Instead, they were just going to push it out and see if they could get him back sooner than those 4 games. It looks like that's not going to be the case. After a couple of days of testing it out, I would say he probably worked a little bit here and there with some trainers just to see where he was at. They decided that the best decision was to remove him from the roster, create a roster spot for the next 4 games at least. Anthony McFarland is a guy that, he didn't practice all week. He popped up with a knee injury. It came out of nowhere. I don't believe it happened in the 49ers game. Maybe it did, but he hasn't practiced and will now miss 4 games. And you're looking at this going, this is a guy that had a ton of juice right now, a ton of momentum heading into week 2. He was the best part of the Pittsburgh Steelers outside of TJ Watt in week 1. That is a huge loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers special teams. They'll replace him with Calvin Austin. Gunnar Olszewski might be in the mix as well, depending on how fresh Calvin Austin's legs are. But this is a pretty big blow to their special teams and their return capabilities. And then they promote Quadri Olison to the active/inactive list, meaning that he will revert back to the practice squad after the game. He doesn't have to pass through waivers, but it does count as one of the 3 games that they're allowed to call him up for before they have to actually sign him to the active roster. I don't expect Olison to see much of the field. He'll play a little bit of special teams, but besides that, they're going to rock with Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, and they're going to give Calvin Austin and Gunnar Olszewski the go as a kick returner. The Pittsburgh Steelers, their roster is still strong. These are not moves that are, detrimental, but they're huge moves. And to lose 2 starters in week 2 after already losing Cam Hayward and to shut them all down for at least 4 weeks, that's not where you want to be to start the season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see what happens. We'll see how Quadri Olison plays. We'll see how the kick returners do without Anthony McFarland, but not the best way health-wise to start the season for the Pittsburgh Steelers.